Alrighty guys, so welcome back to another stream, and today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 drivers who I hope will be invited to World Finals 21, because it has been announced for next year that the 2021 Monster Jam World Finals will be happening. Now what we're going to need to do here is I'm going to be taking a look at the stadium and arena tours for this year. And before we get too far into this, there is one thing I want to specify. This video is not going to include any drivers who have previously ran in World Finals 20. So if they ran World Finals 19 but not World Finals 20, I might say them. I'm actually not sure if Charlie Pauken ran in World Finals 20, because if he didn't, he should. But I'm not going to count him because I'm not 100% sure about that one. So I'm gonna take a quick scan over these and try to find out who I want to say. Okay, so I think I have a pretty good outline on the top 5 drivers who, actually, I don't think any of the drivers I just thought of have ever been in a World Finals before. So I'm going to start with, like, the one I would probably least want to see, but still really, really want to see. And that's John Gordon in Bad Company. He has a really fast truck. He's mastered the 8-pack backflip. The only thing about him is that he's not the most consistent. He doesn't get quite the air as some of the other drivers, but I could see him competing in a World Finals competition. For number 4, we're going to move right over to the right with Jamie Garner in the overboard. I don't believe he's been in the World Finals before. Let's see. No, he's never been to a World Finals. And I'll look up the other ones when I get to them. He had a really, really good 2020 season, but World Finals 21 didn't happen then. I don't quite think he'll be able to make it, though, because we've definitely seen better competition from him in 2020. He's not been the best in 2021, but I think it would be pretty cool to see him in his first ever World Finals, since Cole Bernard has made it out before. Yeah, I know, that's my thoughts on it. We will come back to this tour later, though. Wait. Did I miscalculate? I did. I guess we're doing top 7 then. So, that was at number 6 is Jamie Garner. At number 5, who I would 5th want, we're going to move into Zach Garner and Wildside. In my opinion, he's better than Jamie Garner. He does get pretty good air. He's mastered the container backflip a lot better than his father has. And I could totally see him competing at, if not the World Finals, at least the Young Gun shootouts. So there should be 4 drivers remaining. Yeah, okay. So the next driver I'm going to move into here is Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken at number 4. Now, the reason I'm putting him here is because he's been like an upcoming star all along. Last year, he did really good. He's attempted that backflip over and over. And this year, at least like his New Orleans performance was super good. He went crazy. He broke the truck. He came back in, forgot what the most recent show was, but he still went crazy. Unfortunately, he did break the truck there as well. Didn't get the best freestyle out, but I definitely want to see him again. If he can't make it to the World Finals by default, I hope he can win the Young Gun shootout and make it in. Next up, we're going to move into Ryan DeSharoon and Saigon Shaker. I don't believe he's been to a World Finals either. No. Well, he went to whatever the Winter Nationals is. So, I don't know. He didn't compete this year, I don't believe. He might have competed once, again at the most recent show. I don't remember what it was. He's just really good. He gets huge air, really good wheelies, a lot of dynamic saves. He goes for that backflip a lot. He doesn't always land it, but he definitely goes for it. And it's having the courage to hit the backflip ramp. He really likes going for the backflip ramp. And I could totally see him making it out to the World Finals. I wouldn't see him in the Young Gun Shootout. I think he's better than a Young Gun Shootout driver. He's better than that, in my opinion. Now we're gonna make our way up here. Actually, it's gonna be a hard decision. Yeah, I'll do this one first. We're gonna move into Paul Jensen and Jurassic Attack. He, out of this is his debuting year, at least in Monster Jam. He's raced in Monster Jam for probably about 5 months now, maybe like 5 to 7 months. And I just want to say, he is incredible. The air he gets for being considered a rookie driver is crazy. I was gonna look this up to see what I could find. I'm looking for one that's relatively recent, and it's not Salt Lake City. I just want to give some examples of what he's like. Let's see if I can find Glendale. Yeah, this is May 31st is what we want. Now, this might just be me because I was there and I automatically like him now. He went really big when I was in front row. This is not my video because I didn't upload him to YouTube. But he has completed a successful backflip before. And I believe he would go back for that again if he were to make it out to the World Finals. So, I definitely think we should see him in World Finals 21. I'm not putting him at number 1 though because he's not super consistent with the backflips. He attempts like stoppies and moonwalking and stuff, but doesn't really get them successfully. And in my opinion, he's definitely an upcoming driver. And as I said, he's probably the number 1 greatest driver in his debut year of Monster Jam. I don't think there's ever been a driver that in the debut year did as good as he has. But number 1, this has been on a lot of people's lists since around 2018 or 2019. He went crazy in competition all the time, still does. Let's make our way into Stadium Series Red once again with Matt Pagliarulo and Chester. We did like the whole bottom row, okay. There's nothing to not like about him. He does bicycles, which is my personal favorite Soooo skills moves. He does really good slap wheelies. He's mastered the backflip. He gets probably the biggest air out of every driver, apart from maybe Todd LeDuc. Hang on. The biggest air most consistent. Like, we may see the biggest jump from Tom Meents to Ryan Anderson or Todd LeDuc, but Matt Pagliarulo gets a good 30-40 feet in the air, every jump in the freestyle or every other jump. At least in stadium setups, not as much in the Chicago styles that we've seen this year. Again, the New Orleans and the other most recent one. But in the stadium style shows that we saw last year a lot more, he did really, really, really well. Really big air, backflips, really good bicycles, sidewalls as well. He definitely got the fans on their feet multiple times last year. He's been since 2015, 2016, and he's never even been in like a Young Gun Shootout. I don't think that's for young drivers, but it might be because it usually is young drivers. But he deserves to be put into a World Final. I don't know. It really depends on how they'll be doing it next year. Like what type of stadium they'll be doing. Let's see. This is for the World Finals, by the way, but so this is interesting. Oh, the Hall of Fame ceremony. Tom Meents. Okay, that's not very helpful. Travel, yep. I don't want to know how to go there. I want to know, like, at least alerts. Okay. I do want to take a look at it. See, there's Jester right there. He's even on the main page of the website. Who's coming out to my show again? Like, a lot of drivers I just named as well. Actually by a lot, I mean one. Jurassic Attack, I'm really excited to see him coming back. But another thing is Vendetta. I didn't put him on my list. He's not as good at all as his teammate, but I could definitely see. We don't usually see drivers entering a season attempting bicycles and backflips. Again, both of which are things he did at Glendale, so maybe that's just me being me again. But in my opinion, he is pretty good. Just not as good. So this is interesting. Frankfurt and Orlando, so that's just the drivers that aren't making it then. I don't actually know. I think Frankfurt was actually the most recent show, and that's what it was. Oh wait, that's in, is that Germany? Oh my, it's Germany, guys. Can I see it in English? No? Okay. That's interesting. So they are doing international shows. Morgan Kane's not in the lineup this year as well. There's a countdown. Okay, why is it so close to a year? It's 4 months after May, but it's still so close to a year away. Another thing that's really sad is that John Zimmer isn't driving this year. So, let me think of something. There's 24. There's only 48 drivers in the series this year. So that would mean they're just going to pick up, 48, if that's what I said. So, there's just going to be, like, a certain group of 16 drivers. Like, the rest of the drivers are all going to get to go. But there's going to be a certain group of 16 drivers that they're just going to say, you know what? You don't deserve to go. We're going to keep you out. So, like, basically a third of the drivers don't even get to go. It feels so much worse when you look at it that way, because last season, I think there were between 3 and 5 arena tours, and there were 3 stadium tours, which was 36, and let's say there were 5 arena tours, that would be 72, or sorry, there's 32 and over 5. I'm not 100% sure, actually. It might be, I might be a little bit wrong on that, but I'm 90% sure that there was somewhere around in the like 70s of drivers last year. Somewhere between 55 and 72 drivers last year. And when you look at it that way, there's a pretty decently large group of drivers who don't get to go. But in this case, there's only a third of the tours that don't get to go, and it feels so evil. I hope they're not going back to 24 Truck World Finals. Okay. This is a totally different... Oh, yeah. I've played for a year minutes, guys. This is going on a totally different topic path here, but they need to stop changing the World Finals. First, like, they got rid of every single crush car, every single, like, bus. There's not even any, like, buses implemented in the ramps. The best they did last year, like, there were some things in ramps. There was, like, one ramp that had cars and crush stuff last year, and it was a fire truck. So they did decent last year, but first of all, there's no car stacks. And second of all, there's only one jump that even has cars in it, let alone on the ground by themselves in stacks. So that's something they really need to work on. Like, what happened to planes? Okay, in defense though, those would always end the run super early, so I guess it's kind of for the best in that case. But at least put back car ramps. Like 3 cars next to each other is not that hard to do. I get the planes and trailers and RVs. The trucks always got caught in those and the runs ended super early. But that doesn't mean you should get rid of cars as a whole. Next thing, after 19 years of World Finals, you think it's the 20th World Finals, we need to do something bigger and crazier. So you take it out of the place where the tradition has been going for almost 20 years. That you don't just do that. They could have done the exact same thing they did for World Finals 20 outside of Camping World Stadium, like at Sam Boyd Stadium, with just a little bit of extra craftsmanship. Maybe they could have put Thunder Alley on the opposite side of where the trucks came down, and there would be a couple less hundred seats to take up. But it's still not taking it out of Sam Boyd Stadium. That's not something you do. That's not how the World Finals works. Next thing, we've had 32 truck shows. We still did. But you can't change it to having 24 truck freestyles and 24 truck racing, despite there still being 32 trucks. That's just not how that works. It doesn't work that way. And then you're also going to add in two-wheel skills and high jump competition, which took up the other 8 trucks that weren't in racing and freestyle. Again, you can't just do that. That's not how that works. You after 20 years, going bigger does not mean changing the entire World Finals completely. They also changed the date to the worst day ever because on the dates that they used to do it in March, around March 3rd, a lot of kids were out of school on their breaks. But in May, especially the 21st and 22nd, that's usually the last or second to last week of school, when the most important tests are happening and everything like that. So no kid's going to be able to take the day off just to go to the World Finals, because obviously if you're going to travel from one state to the World Finals, you're going to need to have a day off. So they'd have to probably take Monday off, maybe even Tuesday off, and take Friday off to travel there before the World Finals starts. Again, doesn't fit into anybody's schedule whatsoever. Hang on. I'm gonna check on the San Antonio games. It's actually been a while. Yeah, if they're gonna add other competitions to go bigger and crazier than ever, at least add good ones. The best stunt competition from the All-Star, it was perfectly fine. It was good. I enjoyed it. But the high jump competition, nobody really enjoyed the high jump competition. That's something that you would only enjoy if you were there, and then again, only half of the people that were there actually enjoyed it. And on top of that, watching that on TV was the most boring thing you could possibly imagine. So that won't work either. The high jump competition was bad. The two-wheel skills competition, they were trying to implement the newer, modern things into Monster Jam. But again, you don't just do that to a World Finals. That's not how that works. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion on the whole situation of World Finals 20. Another thing I want to talk about is we got totally stolen from Zombie and Hunter and Gears. We have not seen a single Gear monster truck or Zombie and Hunter monster truck in competition before. Now, we do know Gravedigger 40th Anniversary is coming out next year, and they have revealed a truck for that. And they did say there's going to be an encore, but if the encore is going to be like the 2017 encore, just no. I'm not saying anything about Gravedigger is bad, and the encores are good. For example, the 2012 encore is probably the second best encore behind either the Decade of Destruction or like the 2015 or 2016 one they did, whichever one they did where there was a giant wall of sparks, like that one was the best. And like he came out this might have been a totally different one, the second half of this, but then he came out on like the dump truck. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that. That was a really good encore. Again, I've never been to a World Finals, and that was something you can enjoy watching on TV, a giant wall of sparks. I mean, even if you weren't there to see like the 100-foot wall of sparks, you still understand how big it is compared to the truck, and you're like, whoa, okay. But like, it doesn't look like the trucks are getting 40 feet high in the high jump. They're just going up. Another thing, I feel like World Finals 20 probably had the worst encore session ever, apart from the Zombie Apocalypse encore. First of all, I don't even remember one encore. If there was a second one, somebody please tell me, because I only believe there is one encore, and even that one was just a truck jump. And I mean, we've seen that in independent shows. We've seen that record be broken in independent shows and Anaheim shows all the time. So you could have found a better place for it than World Finals 20. You're supposed to do the bigger encore for that. That's a big event, but you just put in like a 7-truck jump. Sure, it's cool. Again, it doesn't have the TV factor. It's cool to see a truck hit big air in real life, and it's cool to be there for a world record, but it's not that exciting to see on TV. Like, you don't see the big air. You don't really, you're not really there. You're probably watching it after it already happened anyway. Breaking world records was alright because it was its own thing and not like they weren't trying to incorporate it into Monster Jam, right? They were just trying to do their own little episode for it. That was okay, but in my opinion, world records should not be counted as World Finals encores. World Finals encores should probably be most heavily focused on either anniversaries or like when there's new truck debuts, such as the Zombie Apocalypse. If they didn't have the red lighting, that would have been one of the coolest encores of all time. But because of the red lighting, I think about 2 out of 200, 1 out of 100 Monster Jam fans probably liked the Zombie Encore. Make it 1 out of 1,000 actually. Nobody liked the Zombie Encore, but everybody loved the zombie designs. So, like an encore like that, where it's a bunch of trucks, like there's some independent drivers need some recognition. Like, I don't think there's ever been a single time, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's ever been an independent driver in an encore before. Like, even the trucks they use in truck jumps are just Monster Jam Feldone trucks. And even in Advanced Auto Parts days, they did the same thing. Like, where's the encore where, like, all of Team 2 Extreme comes out with, like, Iron Outlaw, Bounty Hunter, Scarlet Bandit, and, like, Wrench Head and whatever. Like, why do we get an encore like that? And, like, I don't know. Like, Feld focuses too much on themselves. And they're forgetting probably about half of the drivers in Monster Jam are independent drivers. And they just kind of leave them out of everything. Like, I don't know, like, we could definitely see encores for, like, independent teams, like, for example, Team 2 Extreme, or, like, we might have seen an encore with Avenger in it before, again, I'm not sure, but how cool would it be to have a Team Scream encore? Like, would that not be awesome, or what? I still really want to see Matt Pagliarulo in World Finals. He's definitely going to stay as my number one choice. I don't think there's anybody that doesn't want to see him at a World Finals. He's really, really good. Especially like, compared to some of the drivers that they're putting in. For example, Lindsay Reed, I get that she won, the Young Gun Shootout. But, like, I don't know. Like, I just, no. And I get, like, Jimmy Creighton waited 20 years for his World Finals win and everything like that. But we all know that Barry Musauer did not do a red light. A slight rock backwards is not a red light. Like, There's a billion reasons why this trick could have fell backwards. Let's analyze this. And I just want to see how absolutely terrible the call was here. Like, again, it's going farther into the fact that Monster Jam officials are terrible. Like, I don't care what you say. They are bad. Okay, I'm gonna play this. We'll go into a different tab so I don't get, like, copyrighted or anything. Because that is something that will happen. Okay. So let's, head to the racing finals here. Please. Okay. Let's analyze this ourselves. You didn't even see anything. Okay. We're gonna put this in quarter speed. Watch Zombie very carefully. Like, they said he rocked backwards or something. I forgot what video they said it in. But at no point does that at all look like a red light. Barry Musauer most definitely should have won that World Finals. Let's see. Let's see. Where's their call here? Let's see if they show a call. You can slightly see it right there. Keyword. Slightly. Here, look at this, okay? Look at this. He moves forward a tiny bit and backwards a little bit, and then the race starts. That's not what I would consider, at least, a red light call. That's not a red light call, okay? I get it. He went a little bit early, but he didn't actually make any distance from that. If anything, it was the opposite. He probably went backwards from that, if anything, because when he went to reverse to stop him from going, he definitely went farther back than he did going, a couple inches forward. Barry Musauer, I don't know. Like, if any, like, also get good at, get better. Go back to Advanced Auto Parts, please. It's a simple request. There is nothing good that Feld has done for this sport. Like, I want someone who doesn't agree with me to go into the comments of this video, or one of my other videos that does have comments enabled if this one disables them, and comment 3 good things about Feld being in charge of Monster Jam. And if you could somehow do so, I will not only be shocked, but I will also be very disappointed that someone would actually be supporting Feld. I just don't know how you could support Feld. They've done nothing good for the sport. And I mean, sure, like, Feld is a pretty big name. They pay a lot of money to Monster Jam, but you shouldn't give up your sport just because you're getting paid a lot of money for it. Like, it just doesn't seem like something that you can do. So, that's my thoughts on the situation of Feld and RII, and no more cars, but yeah. Just remember, top 7 drivers, actually, let me edit this. Top 7 drivers. Number 7, we had John Gordon, then Jamie Garner, then Zach Garner, then Nick Pagliarulo. There's 3 more. Then Ryan DeSharoon, then Paul Jensen, then Matt Pagliarulo. That's my top 7. Thank you guys for watching, and be sure to leave a like if you agree with who, in my opinion, I think should come out.